What's going on, guys? It's been a long time. It's been a week. Shut the hell up. It's been a week. We're jumping in. Season 11, episode 12. I am curious to know more about what's going on in the Commonwealth, man. This storyline is really interesting. Last episode, they took a different approach. You know what I'm saying? They took a different approach, kind of went into the bag of, a kind of like a crime thriller, conspiracy drama, you know what I'm saying, like in that kind of genre, spying and undercover secret society, whatever. They kind of went in their bag a little bit there. Even the music for the episode was a little different as well. So hey, it is what it is. Was a good episode. Love the focus on Eugene. Eugene has been one of my favorite characters in the show ever since he stopped being a bitch. So I have to be, you know what I'm saying? I have to shout out to Eugene, man. Eugene has really stepped up for the people. You know what I'm saying? Stepped up for the people, and I hate to see him get so heartbroken like that because, I was waiting for the day for him to stop chasing Rosita, because Rosita didn't want to give him that. I never wanted to get. Eugene is the typical good guy. You know what I'm saying? He was the typical good guy that, most girls love having as a friend. You know what I'm saying? But they'll never give him that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to put out for men like that unless they have a shit ton of money. So, you know what I'm saying? But I always felt for him like that. You know what I'm saying? And finally found someone that reached out to him, and I'm hoping that Max actually felt something for Eugene. That would be great. Because because the thing about it is that with Max, I don't understand why she didn't say nothing. Why didn't you say anything this whole time? Why didn't you say nothing? Now you just pulling up on a dude. This time he thought he was actually dating the actual Stephanie that he was talking to on the radio. Now you pulling up? Come on, man. That's not cool, Max. I don't like that. But hey, if you're here to tell us some truth, let's hear it. Anyways, we're gonna jump into the reaction, and I'll see you guys at the end for the review.
It's just dumb luck, honestly. I found the radio parts in a dumpster behind the municipal building. They'd never be left there for security reasons. So, someone clearly thought it was trash. But it wasn't trash.
So why did you tell him that your name was
Just needed some
Stephanie?
love.
The most vivid memory of the ice cream shop with the most marvelous batch of black raspberry ice cream.
The inside scoop. I used to go there all the time. Hell, we might have been there on the same day.
Well, no, unless there's a critical question needs answering.
So what? She didn't know that was Eugene? And also, you guys were saying that she did see them.
That's how we started talking. And we talked about everything. Everything and nothing.
Just can't help but believe that this is a celestially ordained meet and greet.
So
No
I'm
beans
guessing
for
maybe
Kira.
they intercepted the call and decided to take
But
advantage of
Eugene,
it.
My people are uber cautious. And
Or maybe
if we're
when she
close-
went
I never
to
thought about leaving this place
Hornsby,
before.
things changed.
Well, I did,
Maybe that's what
but
happened.
I never let myself believe it was possible.
Truth is, Stephanie, I'd just very much like to meet you.
But then my brother got involved. And he was not happy.
God damn it.
It's not what you think.
Oh, yeah? Want to know what I did today? I investigated a massive communications breach. Apparently, someone on an unauthorized radio station has been talking to a rogue community outside of our walls. Oh, man. Hornsby's all over it. Tell me it wasn't you. Please tell me that you were not about to sneak out to meet some stranger at a rail yard.
What could I say?
Max. It's dangerous. For everyone at the Commonwealth, but especially for me and you.
Why especially
I
for
gotta go.
for y'all.
You better pray Hornsby doesn't realize that was your voice.
I knew I
Oh,
crossed the
so
line.
they intercepted the
And with
call.
Hornsby on the prowl, getting out to see you was impossible.
So she couldn't warn him.
And then
So
you turn up with
somebody-
some other girl calling herself Stephanie, using my words, my voice.
Yeah, I remember this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen to be Rocky Road there, would it?
Yeah, I remember this. But I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, I didn't think anything of it because
You
I
seemed
was
so
like,
happy. So I kept my head down. And Hornsby came to see Pamela.
And he was buzzing about you and Alexandria. I never...
What's he planning?
I don't know. He's ambitious. Could mean anything. Could mean nothing. Just the rebuild.
The big guy in the orange armor who hates me? That's your brother?
Yes, but Eugene.
And you? You're Stephanie?
No. I'm Max. There is no Stephanie.
she never told him
That
his.
was my mother's name.
I'm sorry.
So,
Sorry.
It's too much.
It's a long way from homelands.
It is, but these communities are perfect for what we're envisioning.
What you're envisioning, I'm not convinced we need to stretch our resources like this. Grow your empire further than your power can extend and lose your empire.
I don't think it's quite that dramatic.
Well, how's this for dramatic? This doesn't go well, we're out. These people are free to stay with us permanently, or they can go home and finish their own repairs. There's enough to do at home without having to worry about a couple of small communities in another state.
Give it a chance, Pam. I really think you might be surprised.
Hello there. Welcome.
Aaron. Pamela Milton. A pleasure.
Care for the grand tour?
I would expect nothing less.
Okay. Alexandria was a self-sustaining ecological community. We have water, solar panels, and a crop system.
Who was the engineer?
I don't recall anyone from intake.
No one, actually. We got the plans from the leader of an allied community, Maggie Ree. Some of our people studied the blueprints, and we built it.
Fascinating.
How do you keep a place like this safe with it being so isolated?
Wasn't easy. Fought a lot of fights.
You were one of the leaders here?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. We all were.
What'd you do before all this?
Didn't matter.
Do you really want to know, bro?
It's not to us anymore.
Morning, Ezekiel. Jerry? And a good morning to you too, sir. Okay, let's get into it. So, nothing but water morning of, no food, no solids. We need you on an empty stomach.
Sorry. Doc, we're just here for a routine checkup.
He got pushed up the list.
Make sure he's stable enough for the surgery.
Surgery? To take out this tumor. Did no one tell you?
Oh. I thought I was still on the list.
Well, now you're at the top of that list.
You're lucky. Some people wait years.
What about his bill?
It's paid up.
Well, however it came to pass, I'm thrilled. I'm going to take good care of you, Ezekiel. Rest up. See you Friday at 9.
That's tough for him to accept though, because he gonna be talking with Carol, because he's gonna be like, you gotta. What about the other people?
This is so
You know what I'm saying?
awesome.
It's awesome for him. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Ezekiel, but what about all the other people that was on the list waiting? The priority, right? The priority, if you have a certain amount of pull and you're this important and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying? What makes you a more important human being than I am? You get what I'm saying? I get that Kara pulled the strings for Ezekiel, and I'm happy because Ezekiel is one of my favorite characters. Would I, if that was my family member, would I do everything in my power to get my family member at the top of that list? Hell yes. But it's also going to kill me. I would feel so guilty. That the person next in line, especially say for instance the people who are on like heart transplant list and stuff like that, like those people, you can imagine you skip the line to get a heart, that somebody else that was waiting forever to get a heart, you get that heart. Like, how can you not feel some sort of guilt because of that? Like, my response could never be like this right here. It just couldn't. I couldn't be like this. I couldn't be this happy about it. Even though, you know what I'm saying? I think that in this instance, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what happened. So he's just happy about it. So I guess, you know what I'm saying? But I would still be questioning, like, how did you get to the top of this? But some, you know, your happiness can really, you know, kind of push you to not really think sometimes. And then it's like that after effect that comes, because you see how Ezekiel is looking at it right now. Ezekiel is not really happy about this, because I think he has probably come to terms that if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really happy. He's probably a little bit happy. He's wondering. He's questioning
How
it.
did this happen?
Yeah.
Boss, this is good news. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's a clerical error, maybe it's divine intervention. Either way,
That it doesn't make, dude, come on, man.
I heard how Oceanside came to be, about your battles with the saviors and the whisperers. Says a lot about the strength of your community. I'm excited to have you as partners of the Commonwealth.
Aaron mentioned there was a trade provision that you'd like worked into our agreement.
Something wrong?
We spoke to Maggie Reed, leader of Hilltop. She told us she's not partnered with you all.
We offered Hilltop the same agreement as with Alexandria, but Maggie declined.
Oh, so she went back to Hilltop.
Hilltop and Maggie have always been there for us. We renewed our mutual protection pact, and I'm gonna honor it. If Maggie decides to partner with you, we will too, out of respect for her. Otherwise, Oceanside's a no.
How do you think this little detour looks to him? It looks like we're not prepared.
It looks like you're not prepared. Lance, you know Pamela, all right? I don't. You didn't anticipate this? It's not my problem.
Stop acting like Alexandria means more to you than it does to me.
Right now, you and I want the same thing, which means you and I are in the same sinking boat. Is Maggie gonna make this difficult for us?
Yes. Because that's who she is.
So you know, this is all or nothing for Pam. So if Maggie says no and Oceanside walks, Alexandria is cut off.
I totally understand why Maggie don't trust y'all.
Sure.
My question in the whole thing is, why is Daryl? I think I talked about it in the review before as well. Yeah, that is Maggie.
At ease.
You must be Maggie.
It's like, we still out here dealing with this mess.
mess.
Maggie,
Why do you trust these people?
who says we do? No, when do I ever?
Fair enough.
It's good to see Alexandria getting cleaned up, though. At least that word meant something.
Yeah, there's like 50,000 people living there. At least 49.9 seem like decent enough folks. And it's not forever.
It's like,
Sure you
seems
wanna come
like
with us?
49.
You don't have to do this alone.
Like basically
Hey, sorry,
99% of them seem
The forward
decent.
unit picked up a swarm.
Man, they do everything in their power to seem normal, don't they? But the fact of the matter is, you are not living in a normal world anymore. Like, it's so
They're all
far
food
from
away,
normal.
stomping
This
around
is
like
like
this.
the aftermath
I'll go with
of
Maggie and you boys to Paris.
thousands of nukes going on. You
Never
know,
mind,
going
just-
off. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to find some sort of normalcy, somewhere you can actually live without being infected by freaking it's
Since we're
rare
being honest,
these days.
Cards on the table, Maggie. I didn't want to come on this tour. I have thousands of people under my care, and that responsibility keeps me up at night. It's the price of leadership. Everything costs something. For me, it's sleep. You know what I think about at 3 a.m.? Who can we trust? How do we stay safe? Your communities are small by our standards. I wasn't sure the risk of going back and forth would be worth it.
And why are you here?
The right allies make us stronger. This world belongs to us, not the dead. Meeting all of you, hearing all your stories, has confirmed what I've always believed. There is a natural order to things that has vanished. And that order needs to be restored. It provides a future for our kids. 15 million little city-states fighting each other for power and resources is never going to be able to provide that kind of stability. I'm offering you the same thing your mutual protection pact with Oceanside did. Someone who has your back.
I mean, you go to probably any other people who hasn't been through anything, they're probably going to take the deal. You know what I'm saying? You know, finding out a little bit more about, you know, what the Commonwealth is about and stuff like that, and everything is kind of. I don't think Pamela. I don't think Pamela. I don't think Miss Milton. Right? I don't think Miss Milton is the bad seed. It's Hornsby, Mr. Lance. I think he's the bad seed.
Hey. I just thought I'd see how you were doing.
Is that Ezekiel's real hair?
Actually,
like in real life? I don't think so. I think that's a wig, right?
You hungry? Nabila and Jerry left me a buffet. It's
yeah, why
crispy.
not? Here.
I think it's definitely a wig, right?
Jerry
So
said
really
you
not-
had a checkup today. Anything come up?
It's a funny thing. Tommy said I was scheduled for surgery. They put me up in the line.
That's good. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. You're not gonna say anything?
Right?
Wait. What did you do?
I didn't.
My debt was wiped out.
Hornsby owed me a favor.
It's cheating.
What did I tell you?
Why would you do that?
Because I don't want you to die?
Carol?
Those lines are a lie. You think
Is
Pamela
it?
Milton would think twice before doing the same thing for her shitty son?
Have you been inside that hospital, Carol?
Gotta think about
Because if you
everybody
had
else
been,
that's
you'd see
waiting,
all
man.
those
They can't.
Suffering. Same as me.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Waiting for treatment.
The guilt would hit me like a ton of bricks.
You're supposed to just die because
As-
the system is broken? Lesser men have been given more and done nothing with it.
That's true too.
You are not a lesser man.
But you don't know those other people. That's the thing.
think that's
Like, you don't know those other people. You can't just automatically think that none of them is
Liberties haven't
good
gone
enough.
anywhere. You consider yourself an autocrat?
I lead the way I was taught by Deanna and Georgie. The communities that we built are fair.
The Commonwealth is fair.
Yeah, but you drive a nicer car and live in a nicer house than everybody else.
I have more responsibilities than the average worker. A leader has to give her people something to look up to.
All right. Well, I want people to look up to what I've done and what I do, not what I have if they don't. Behind you. You want it? Or shall I?
Well, I was thinking about going after the one behind you.
Maggie and Miss Milton, he's sitting here having a decent conversation. Maggie's smiling, she's smiling. Like, what the hell happened in 6 months? Afraid to say
Stephanie.
something.
He isn't missing. I saw her. She just... broke up with me. She broke up.
It's tough, but that's not what I want you to be saying right now. But
She wasn't who I thought she was.
Screw her. You can do so much better.
you know
You're
what?
gonna find your person.
I'm done with y'all, man. These women be trifling as hell. I hate, one of the worst things that a woman can do to you is to say some shit like that to you when they know you was in love with them as well at one point. You could do so much better than her. You can imagine. That's why you don't. After my divorce, you know what I'm saying, we had a conversation. I was talking to her and she was like, you could do so much better than her and all this other stuff. Like, that's one of the worst things that you could hear from a girl you used to like. You don't know, you never gave me a chance to be with you, right? And now you're telling me that I could done better than my actual ex-wife. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here. I don't have to explain it much, but this is the worst. And I don't like that for Eugene. I don't like that she's saying that to Eugene, because Eugene had a serious crush on Rosita. And, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the worst things to be sitting back. And the thing about it is, like, she knew. She knew.
Hey, Maggie. Is it okay if we hand out some supplies? We have more than enough. Food, fuel.
Sure. Thank you.
Great, we're on it. You two, come with me.
Okay.
I mean, this ain't too bad of a thing. Like, I don't hate the Commonwealth in any way. I think it's good what they're doing, but at the same time, it's just it just feels so sketchy. Like,
This place used to be really special, different. It's going through hard times now, but it'll be back up and running. Just watch.
I guess not all places are as lucky as Alexandria.
Not all places are as lucky as Commonwealth.
Are you coming around?
I wouldn't go that far. But you guys are...
Give it 6 months.
No, I'll give you that.
Give it
I'm
6
okay,
months.
perfect,
We'll see where we're at, bro.
Just don't get too comfortable. The only reason you're out of your armor is because someone thought it'd be good for appearances. You got your role to play, I got mine.
This dude, he knows what goes on behind the scene, but he's not really saying much. He's not really saying nothing because he's trying to stay safe. There's some sketchy stuff going on behind the scene that he knows about.
Have you decided yet?
do you get out of all this?
Come on, Maggie. Let's not pretend the obvious isn't staring us in the face. You're in over your head.
You don't know me very well.
You know you're smart enough to know a good offer when you hear it. And I'm smart enough to know I've just pissed you off.
Well, yeah, because you literally just told her she's hit over her head. Like,
all right, I'll bite. The first time I went to Alexandria, I could see it. The potential. Maggie, do you really believe that Hilltop, as it currently stands, is the best you'll ever have? Or Alexandria? Or even Oceanside? Look around. We can have so much more.
the point is, we've been through a lot together, so I'd rather...
Being able to pick Herschel up from a concert at the Commonwealth. Take him to a doctor's appointment in Alexandria. Then jump on a boat at Oceanside, traveling up the coast.
To what?
And what's up that coast? Another port town, another school, but a university. Have you ever imagined being able to drop your son off for his freshman year at college?
I tried to build it.
Of course you did. Because you and I see things the same way. Imagine the world you want to build. Hold it in your mind. Now picture the
Man, if you don't get out of my face.
50,000 Commonwealth workers helping you make that vision a reality. Think what you could accomplish then.
That's your dream, it seems like. And how organized they are, probably.
Remember, they're always watching. Got me?
Yeah, I got it.
Left face, forward march.
Never a dull moment here, is there?
We try.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, no injuries, all limbs intact. We call that a good day. But the Hilltop's going to pass on your offer.
Can I ask why?
Just like you said, everything costs something.
Is she an engineer too? I
I'm
don't
so
know.
sorry, Max, for my ungentlemanlike behavior, for running away, for not listening. I was bruised and confused.
You were pretty damn rude.
I was. Indeed. I let Hornsby get inside my head. It was an infiltration of the most epic proportions. He is a snake.
Like a worm.
I let an imposter into my heart and my home. I let her read my manuscript.
Manuscript?
I'm writing a novel.
Is a sepulcher involved?
Obviously.
Did it take place in the
Carpathian Mountains, yes.
You let her read it?
I thought it was you.
I know, but Eugene, how? After all that time we spent together, everything we told each other, how could you not know it wasn't me?
Are you seriously asking that question right now? But that's exactly the kind of questions that women ask that we're like, oh, what, are you kidding me right now? Do you know the details? You know the details of the situation, right? Like, Eugene's gonna answer, I don't know, because I don't know how, I don't know. I don't know how I didn't know that it wasn't that it wasn't you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had all the information. They were intercepting all the calls. They knew information about you, about the conversation. So whatever I knew, they knew. So it's very easy for somebody to pretend that there's somebody else if they have all the information. They could have sent a monkey with the information. I would have thought it was you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't look at it from both point of view. And the thing about it is, I said women ask these kind of questions all the times in relationships, and you just gotta you're like sanity is like what you just said it's not logically sound. It's like, how did you know it wasn't me? I don't know.
Then I'm not like most folks. I got used to rejection, PDQ. Didn't even realize it was rejection some of the times, but suffice it to say it happened a fair amount.
Well,
so there was a part of me that always wondered if our connection was all in my head. But when I got here and she didn't
reject you. Yeah.
I just so badly wanted this to be real. And subtle cues escape me sometimes.
That goes with the territory,
I never meant to
Eugene.
hurt you, Max. But my intent does not excuse my impact. How can I make this up to you? Will you allow me to try?
You didn't do anything. What? This episode is pissing me off, bro. It is pissing me off because Eugene he's such a typical good guy. This attitude, this is me at like 23, 24 years old. This was me. I hate to see it because I'm not like this anymore. Like, I don't apologize for stuff when I know I didn't do anything wrong. Don't apologize. What do you mean what you got to do to make it up to her? What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong, my guy. You went along with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake and mistake somebody else for you, but you got to understand the information as well. Explain yourself, Eugene. Don't just sit there. This is a breakdown for another day. This is not a Walking Dead conversation, Terabyt. This is, you know what I'm saying? But I dig it, though. Eugene is confident in everything else, and I've come to respect him so much. And then he does this.
Can I read your novel?
With that horrible wig you're wearing right now.
Well, as ill fortune would have it, you came upon me whilst I was burning the only physical copy. However, I have committed much of the text to memory.
I know people are going to be like, why are you so triggered, bro?
It's from Judith.
I guess because Eugene reminds me of an old me, man, that just used to be like,
It's good to see you.
So simpy and being deceived by women and shit, man. It's hard to watch on screen sometimes because this is like, what?
Diane.
I'm leaving, Maggie.
Oh,
Some of the others are coming with me, and you should too.
You should have saw this coming, though.
Trust. We know that better than anybody.
Yeah, but you heard how she was talking.
It's harder than it has ever been, and it doesn't have to be. I respect the hell out of you. But I can't do this anymore.
People getting tired, man. They tired of chasing zombies.
It was a worthy effort, Lance.
It's not over. It doesn't have to be.
It's time to go home.
We still have Alexandria. I just need time to get the other two.
Yo, you gotta know when to give up, bruh.
Communities into the fold. I get why something like that would be appealing to you. Someone needs to run them, right?
That selection would be at your discretion.
No, it wouldn't.
Obviously. I'm going to pretend that you were doing this for the good of the Commonwealth rather than for yourself.
You know he was in it for himself.
I was doing this for you.
No, you wasn't. My nigga, stop lying.
You've been ambitious our whole lives, Lance. Ambition is notoriously hard to reel in, so if you want to try and make it work, fine. But if your job at home starts to suffer, there will be consequences. Commonwealth always comes first.
Lance.
Was a good shot though.
Lance, you okay?
A plus.
What did she say about Alexandria? We good?
Everything's fine. Pamela's on board. In fact, we're gonna bring even more people in. Get ready, Aaron. We are going to remake the world.
I gotta be so dramatic, bro. It ain't even that serious. Yeah. I did a lot of talking during the episode. I know some people are gonna be like, oh my god, no. But at the end of the day, you're not just here to, you know, you're here to hear my thoughts. If you've been with my channel for a long time, you know sometimes that's what happens. If something is in the show that's like triggering or anything like that, I wouldn't say I was triggered. It's just giving my thoughts and just I've always been a proponent of just giving my opinion on certain things that happen during the show, especially when it's not anything that's going on that's like super interesting in the show. I try to, you know, kind of talk about it, kind of draw some parallels towards you know real life and stuff like that, and I try to do that as much as possible. And if it's something like super exciting happening in the show, I won't talk as much. But hopefully I didn't, you know, hopefully it didn't bother you guys too much during the episode when I was talking, because I think one at a time I went on for like 3 or 4 minutes. But it is what it is. It's what I do on the channel. It's what I do. But let's talk about the episode though. Now we're kind of understanding what kind of took place, what was done, how things was done, how did they approach the communities and stuff like that. So they got into that, and they also showed, you know, what happened, why Max was switched out with the fake Stephanie. So we kind of got those two perspectives this episode, and also the situation with Ezekiel being pushed to the top of the list. And I gave my thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? I gave my thoughts on it on, you know what I'm saying, you know, would I give, you know what I'm saying, would I give anything if one of my family members was in that position, if I would do anything in my power to get him to the top of the list? Hell yes. But there's also the guilt that's going to come with that. It's not like I'm going to be like, you know what I'm saying, it's whatever, I don't care, that's my family member. Like, the guilt would eat me up. But would I still go ahead and do what I gotta do to help my family member if it is possible to do so? Hell yes, I would. You know what I'm saying? There's an extreme that you will go to for a loved one that you probably wouldn't go to the extreme for another person. So I'm not going to deny that and make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, I'm not like that, or I wouldn't go to that extent. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I would in those specific scenarios. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you witness your family member kill someone, that's a whole different story, right? Because some people will know that their family member is guilty as hell, and they out here still trying to defend them. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? If you guilty, you gonna go to jail, okay? Because you deserve to be locked up. It's as simple as that. When it comes on to the situation with Eugene, I'm gonna get to the other stuff. Don't worry about it, okay? Right? So when it comes on to the stuff with Eugene and Max, Eugene has nothing to apologize for. And the reason why I said that, and the reason why it was pissing me off, because I used to be like that, man. I used to be like that so much that it kind of brought me back to that place where I used to be, because I actually did get pissed off at myself when I actually look back and see how I was when it came on to either conversations with women or just being in relationship, period, where I used to, like, I can sit here and tell you that I was not, I'm taking accountability for my actions, and what I allowed during my marriage was unacceptable. It was unacceptable. I was not the man in that relationship. I was not the man. And that's not only it not only comes to the point where I look at it and I'm like, I was just not a man. It's just taking the accountability to understand that I wasn't in my masculine frame during that relationship, and it hurt the relationship. And that's me taking accountability. I don't know what she's out there telling people about the relationship. I don't know if she takes any accountability for the things that she did, but I'm going to take accountability for what I did not do and the things that I did in that relationship that did not help it whatsoever. I could sit here and tell you a million stories of things that happened in that relationship that wasn't my fault, but I'm not going to do that. That's a story for another day. But I am going to take accountability for the things that I did and the things that I could have done better, the things that I could have be more of, you know what I'm saying, standing in my masculine frame about, that I did not. And you know what I'm saying? And that's also a situation where I didn't know. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know. I didn't understand. Now I understand. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about, like, about the last, like, I want to say the last, like, probably like 8 or 9 years or so of my life, I've really, like, come to understand what it means to actually be in a relationship and being a man in a relationship, and understand what that means, right? And what your responsibilities are, and understanding that. And that comes over time as well. I'm not saying that you can't get married young and understand that, but if you don't understand that, you're doing yourself a disservice by getting into a relationship with a woman and expect it to go long term. That's all I'm trying to say. So when it comes on to what I'm seeing in the show, and you guys might look at it and be like, oh, he's getting triggered because of this, and whatever. The fact of the matter is, when I see something and I was like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to apologize, because a lot of times men will watch shows like The Walking Dead and think and see a scene like that and think that that is how a man is supposed to act, and think that there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. There's a lot of things wrong with what Eugene was doing as a man in that conversation that he's not addressing. And that's why I said a lot of times, I don't know from what perspective. I don't know who wrote the episode. I don't know if it's from a woman perspective or a man. It just seemed like it was coming from a male's perspective rather than a woman's perspective. Because in no way, shape, or form Max should be blaming Eugene for anything that he did. He thought it was you. He didn't know what you fucking look like. What do you think he's going to do? That is a man that has never been accepted. He got rejected in one of the hardest ways that a man could ever get rejected in the show, right? By a woman that he liked, and actually, you know what I'm saying, she knew, and still didn't give him no play. Didn't even give him a chance. Now, is Eugene in the best shape of his life? We're talking about a pandemic here. We're talking about an apocalypse here. So you can't even put money in the situation to say that money was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why she didn't choose him. You know what I mean? It ain't about hypergamy. It ain't about anything like that, because they're living in an apocalyptic time. So it ain't got nothing to do with that, right? And hey, she has the right to do whatever she wants to do. But as I said, Rosita damn near slept with everybody in the show, and nobody's calling her a hoe. I've been calling Rosita a hoe before she started going, you know what I'm saying, straight with Gabriel. And I think Gabriel got the bad end of that deal regardless. But at the end of the day, if you go back and you watch my Walking Dead reactions, I was calling Rosita a hoe. She a hoe. She was a hoe. Whatever. YouTube is gonna demonetize my video. I don't give a damn. But in any case, what I'm trying to say is that Eugene should never be. Don't apologize for shit you know you're not wrong about, dude. It's like, what can I do to make it up to you? I used to be like that, man. I used to be like that even when I'm not around, just because I don't want the woman, the girl, to be mad at me, or I want them to forgive me and just move past it. Even when I'm not wrong, I'm asking for forgiveness. It's beta shit. Call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you guys gonna understand where I'm coming from. But the whole thing that happened with Milton, you know what I'm saying, Miss Milton, Maggie, Hornsby. Hornsby got his own plans. I think he has plans to kind of get some people under his wing and get support and take over. I think that's what he wants to do. I think he wants to kick Pamela out or figure out some way to get her out, but he's playing the game. You know what I'm saying? He's playing the game until the opportunity arises. I think if he really wants to remake the world, right? Let's just say he has good intentions, and that's what he's planning to do, right? Let's just say that's what it is. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, even though we know that he's sketchy as hell. If that's what he wants to do, how he's going about it is just really sketchy and way in the black. You know what I'm saying? It's in the darkness. It's dark stuff that he's doing. I think that he is a player of the rebellion, right? I really do think so. I think that I think they are the ones that is stirring up stuff with the thousands of people that are rebelling against the Commonwealth. I think he's a part of that. I think he's their leader. I think they're the group that is stirring up things, creating these people who are off on the side saying, and I'm not saying that he's not fighting for a good thing, because this whole class of citizens, that doesn't mean that Hornsby doesn't want to be like some sort of president figure in this whole thing. So we still got to keep an eye on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the players. I think that he's the real villain of the season. I think he is the real villain. They're kind of trying to play it like he's not really a villain right now, but I really do believe that he is the villain that is kind of like behind the scenes, kind of doing a lot of things behind the scenes that is going to affect everything that is going on. You know, between what Maggie is seeing and everything that is going on, I understand why she turned down the offer. There's too much sketchiness going on. We got to be careful of who we trust. We've been through this since season 1, right? Where we come upon communities and this and that and whatever, and we just so happens to find a couple that rock with us, and we gonna keep rocking. I'm kind of surprised that Aaron just, you know what I'm saying, he was just on board. You know, he's a father, so he's probably thinking of his kid a lot more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So that plays into it. But Maggie, you know what I'm saying? Maggie, I don't mind Maggie taking on that Rick role. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind her taking on that Rick role. Ever since Rick left, you know, they have kind of pushed Maggie to the forefront of the show, which is fine, because she's always been one of my favorite characters in the show anyways. Her and Daryl, I think, is, you know what I'm saying, at the forefront of the show, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like original characters. Not as much as Daryl is, but at the same time, I understand why, you know what I'm saying, in season 11, even though she left, we didn't see her much. I think she left from like season 9 or something like that. Even though we didn't see much of her until the end of season 10, still I understand why they pushed her to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? And I understand her decision to not join up with the Commonwealth. Hey, let's rebuild. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think this nice cushy stuff that they're trying to do, it's all good and well, but you're also trying to put people back into this box of how they were living before. Why can't we just all be equals and just share what we have and have? I'm not saying that you can't have leadership, because leadership is necessary, because not everybody can lead. I'm not saying that you can't have that, but to have the kind of thing where you have, my thing is this, right? If you're gonna have a ball like that, because I was thinking about this last week, I was like, if you're gonna have a ball, right, like what they did at the dinner, I don't remember if it was last week. No, it wasn't last week. The week before, when they did the ball, when dude stormed in and held Max hostage and stuff. Like, my thing is with that, like, if you're gonna do something like that, how would you do that on an equality standard, right? Like, how would you do that? Have some people enjoy the thing, right? The ball there, have a party, you're having a party, and yes, you're gonna have people that serve food, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have that, but not the next time, but later on, you know what I'm saying? Like halftime, you know what I'm saying? Everybody switch roles, you know what I'm saying? Don't make it a whole dress up masquerade ball thing. Like, we just here to eat and enjoy and have a good time. So, you know what I'm saying? After a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours or so, if everybody enjoying themselves and we serving you, how about now we switch roles and you guys serve the other people that were serving before food, and they get to enjoy and dance. You get what I'm saying? And the thing about it, you can look at it from, hey, oh, they're gonna be tired and whatever, but that's not the case. If that's not the case, let everybody just come and you have a buffet style eating and you just enjoy yourself. It don't need to be a thing where workers gotta be workers and thing like that. It doesn't have to be like that. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like that. Everybody's putting in the work. You know what I mean? That don't mean that just because you out here killing zombies, I don't have to kill zombies, and you have to protect us because you are the security of the place. Like, it's to the point where, you know, in society we understand that, you know, somebody got to pick up the garbage. Somebody got to drive the truck that picks up the garbage, right? We understand that. We know that people gotta mop. We gotta have custodians, right? We know that these jobs have to be done by someone. But to look at them, those people, as second-class citizens is ridiculous, because a lot of these people, the same building that they're cleaning, right? I'll tell you this, those people, I never look down on them, because I understand that a lot of times when I was working retail, those people that are cleaning, they were making more than me doing it. So for me to look down on them and be like, I'm better than you because you're cleaning up my mess is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's backwards thinking. So I never did that. So, you know what I'm saying? So you got to understand also the people that are cleaning up the streets, those garbage men that you probably think are nasty as hell. Some of them owns those trucks too. Some of them owns those trucks and they run them and they making 6 figures a year. Don't play the games. Don't think that these people don't be up there. Yeah, they might seem like, you know what I'm saying, the dregs of society or whatever, but they making bank. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this episode was fire. I love the perspective. That's why I said I don't really like, I don't hate Miss Milton. Like I don't hate her. I understand that some people want to go back to some sort of normalcy in these situations, and it doesn't always work out that way, and they're trying to make it the best as possible. And you know, when you have a society that works, and it worked in the past, and this whole epidemic that happened, it was unexpected, right? So you want to go back to that normalcy of when it used to be normal, people going to school and all of this other stuff. You know, you had a government, you had a leadership in place and stuff like that. It's just that I don't believe that a lot of the old stuff is necessary for the world that they're living in now. You get what I'm saying? like, it's gonna be really hard for you to get back to normalcy when you still have so many. When people die, they become zombies, bro. It's not a situation where you can still have a natural death. When people die, you literally still have to kill them if you don't want them to turn. So it's such a weird situation because there's no sense. It's unpredictable. Somebody could die in their sleep, and because you don't know, you're probably sleeping in the same room, they turn around and eat your ass because you didn't know that they died and they turned. It's a weird situation to me. It's a weird, it's just weird. Okay, but in any case, guys, that's all I have to say. I was supposed to be finished with this. This reaction is going on for like an hour and 20 minutes now. Like, it's crazy, right? I could have watched the movie, which I am planning to do today. So it's crazy. But in any case, that is how much I enjoy watching The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy talking about it. So appreciate you guys, man. Leave a like. Great episode. Can't wait for next week. Appreciate y'all. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'm out. Peace.